This year it's a problem about a salvage of a Spanish military vessel, or allegedly a Spanish military vessel, off the coast of really Florida. And it involves a whole host of complicated issues under statutes, some of which I had never heard of before this year. For example, the Sunken Military Craft Act, the Federal Sovereign Immunities Act, the National Marine Sanctuaries Act. I'd heard of that statute, but the law of fines, the law of salvage, which are sort of general common law admiralty notions. Also the Endangered Species Act, the Rivers and Harbors Act, and the Clean Water Act. And there are complicated issues under all of these statutes or common law doctrines. And each student only has 15 minutes to deal with this complicated morass.
Under Treasurer Salvers, we cannot conclude that Florida in fact does own the property, and therefore the action itself is barred, but we can only conclude that Jupiter Rec cannot succeed on its claim to ownership or full possession because the ownership status of the state must remain unresolved.
In terms of preparation, we have sort of made it a habit of doing somewhere between 25 and 30 practice rounds. We get a lot of different faculty members involved and a lot of different alums of the program involved. And one of our key ideas is to have them argue in front of as many different judges as possible, so they can hear as many different perspectives on the problem as possible. You know, what we're really trying to show students is what excellence is all about, and the fact that unfortunately in the legal field, excellence is pretty hard to achieve. And you know, oftentimes when they sit down to write their briefs, for example, they write the brief at the beginning of this process. They think they understand the problem pretty well, and then it's a process of sort of showing them that they haven't thought of all the angles. They only get one credit each semester for this, and they don't do it for the credit. They do it because they want to get better. I think at Lewis and Clark in general, you know, one of the things we look for when we hire faculty is to what extent are you seriously interested in spending time with students. You know, we're interested obviously in classroom performance, we're interested also in scholarship. But we are very much interested in, do you understand the culture at Lewis and Clark, and do you understand that students feel like they have an ownership interest in the place, and they have an ownership interest in their own education. And you know, certainly that's part of what attracted many of us to the school, the fact that there really is it's not just words, it's a real strong commitment to working with students one-on-one and training lawyers. It's, you know, one of the best parts of my job, it really is. And you know, I'm just really happy that the school as a whole, at some law schools, you know, frankly, this would not be looked upon as a good good investment of my time. Here, everybody's thrilled about it. Everybody thinks it's you know, the right thing for us to be doing.